All right, guys, we are live at Framing the World here. We are going to be having a discussion today about our film Deported. And so it should be a great stream. We have Pastor Steven Anderson that's going to be joining us. We have, of course, Logan in the house. And we have the infamous Shane in the house. So Shane,
Canadian
Shane is in the house. So it's going to be a great stream, guys. Make sure to tune in and stay with us here today. We're going to be discussing this film right here, Deported. And all these people that you just saw were in the film. And so we're also going to be doing some giveaways. I don't know, should we start now with the giveaways?
Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's just start right off the bat here with some giveaways. So Logan, explain the giveaways here.
Okay, got something very special for you.
Very
folks.
special.
All right, we're gonna have a fun time with it. There's no trivia today, but you do have to earn it.
Yep. So these right here are trading cards. These are special Framing the World trading cards that we're giving away to the first person. Explain.
Okay, so the first person to call in with a clean joke. All right, it's gotta keep it clean. It's gotta be a joke. It doesn't. I don't care if it's not funny. You call in with a clean joke, and you're gonna get your trading card. Are we gonna let them pick so we can all feel?
So you have your
bad
choice
about ourselves if we don't get picked first.
Yeah, so you have your choice. So we have right here, we have Pastor Steven Anderson rookie card. I know they're hard to see, guys, but they're pretty awesome. We have Paul Wittenberger rookie card. We have the Rob Vitellano rookie card, and all these people are going to be on the stream tonight. We have the Logan rookie card, and we have the Dustin rookie card. He's not going to be on the stream, but he's here in spirit. He's going to be in the chat. And then we have the Shane Jantz card. So you get to choose, and this is going to be the fun part, is that
you got to make a joke. You got to earn it. So you get to pick which card you want here, which of these cards you want to choose. Now,
and just make sure you pick Shane last.
You can get an autograph. You can get a Paul Wittenberger autographed rookie card. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So we're going to start off. Whenever you guys want to call, just ring us at 480-465-1203. Give us a call and let's see if you got a funny joke for us.
Yeah, let's hear a joke, guys. Come on.
So, Shane, how you doing, brother? Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys great. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Where you parked at, man?
I'm somewhere in Iowa. I'm not sure exactly where, but I'm at a rest stop somewhere in Iowa.
Hey, I used to live in Iowa. I lived in Iowa for like a year and a half, bro. In Des Moines.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's windy out here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it gets really cold in the winter too.
You know what it doesn't get though?
What does it get?
Attacked by alligators, like in Florida. Yeah. You see how I brought it all back around?
I don't know why you hate Florida so much.
Because it's a terrible place. It's a terrible place to live. Just gonna make sure, like every stream, that I get that in there. I cement.
All right, we got our first caller there. So who
all right, thank you for calling Frame of the World. You're live on the air. Who is this?
Hello?
All right,
Hello?
Let's hear your joke.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I have a clean joke.
All right, go ahead.
What kind of person was Boaz before he got married?
I don't know. What kind of person was Boaz before he got married?
Do you know, Shane?
No, I don't. No idea.
What's the answer, man?
Ruthless.
That's a good. That's
a good one. Yeah,
very good. Okay, so who's it gonna be?
Yeah, so
we got Shane, Dustin, myself, Rob. All right, we got a couple of rookie cards: Pastor Anderson or Paul Wittenberger.
Yeah.
So which card would you like?
Oh, Pastor Anderson.
There you go. Right
there
off
you
the
go.
block.
All right,
Pastor
so
Anderson.
he's out.
We'll talk to him. We'll see if we can get that autograph for you. Okay. So stay on the line. I'll get your information and we'll get that sent out to you. All right.
And those are from, remember, these special edition trading cards here, and each box. So it says collect the 125 card set here. So there's 125 different cards in this box. Well, not in this box. There's only like 75 cards. I forget. But each one of these box, you might get a rare printing plate too. So, all right. Well, Shane, buddy, are you excited?
Yeah.
Deported's going live today.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen when this thing hits YouTube and it just really gets out there and people can just find it. That wouldn't normally find it any other way, right? Like they won't find it through us, just people just stumbling on it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the reception's going to be like.
Yeah, I really hope it's big. You know, I really hope people share this and they support it. It was definitely a hard film to make, and I know you know that because you pretty much helped me make this thing from day one. So.
Yep. Yeah. It was not. It's kind of funny because it was never planned that you and I were going to make a movie, but it just happened.
Yeah, and so what I mean by that, guys, just so you know, for those of you who might not know this, Shane actually went through the whole process with me. I was sending him rough edits after rough edits after rough edits, and he had to break the news to me every time how much what things he would cut, and I sometimes listened, sometimes didn't, but it definitely made a huge it was a huge help for him to do that. So
yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch the movie take shape, and just how about moving this around and that around. So it was, but I have to concede that the scenes that there's one scene that I still wish you cut out, but the rest you were right.
Well, I forget what that scene was that you wanted to cut out, but
Time I talked.
Oh yeah, I do remember. It's the Neo scene. But I'm setting her up, man. I'm setting her character up. You have to have it.
Yeah.
So Shane didn't like the Neo scene.
Which one? The one where she sold us out to her government?
No, the one where we're in the house with her and everything.
Uh-huh.
And we're just like getting introduced to them, right? We're eating dinner and they're laughing. He didn't like that scene.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Long.
Too long, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
you gotta set up the whole background,
Yeah, you gotta set her up. You gotta set her up before the fall. I mean, that was the calm before the storm, man.
Right. And everything was normal.
But yeah, I'm super happy with the way it came out. I really hope you guys decide to go to framingtheworld.com and get a copy of this. There's every copy has a Blu-ray and a DVD. And so we got someone calling in. Just put them in live. Yeah, just put them right on. All right, you're on live.
Who is this?
I'm on live? Oh, wow, that's awesome.
All right, who is this? Where are you calling from?
Gary Jenkins from Arizona.
Oh, we got Pastor here.
Pastor just walked into the studio.
I just sit down?
Yeah, just jump in.
All right, so you got a clean joke for us?
I do have a clean joke for you. I hope you guys like it.
Let's hear it.
All right. What's the oldest trick in the book?
I don't know, Paul. What's the oldest trick in the book?
I don't know.
Satan telling Eve that she wouldn't surely die.
All right. I mean, we did say clean. We didn't say there had to be the funniest thing you ever heard before.
I think you said
here, tell that joke again. I don't think Pastor heard that joke. Tell it again.
I said, what's the oldest trick in the book?
What is it?
Satan telling Eve that she wouldn't surely die if she ate the apple.
Yeah.
Oldest trick in the book.
That's not really a joke. That's just a timeless truth.
I think we're more laughing at you than actually the joke itself. But that's all right. We'll still give you the card. So who are you like? We got Shane, Dustin, myself, Rob, or the Paul Wittenberger rookie card.
If he can sign it, I want to go ahead and get the filmmaker Paul Wittenberger.
All right, you got it, man.
Signed, sealed, delivered, right to you. Stay on the line, and I'll get your information, okay?
Yeah, Pastor Anderson's rookie card went right away, man. So that's gone. That can no longer be taken. So, Pastor, the film is going live here tonight at midnight. You want to just tell people about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, we've been waiting for this day for literally 3.5 years or something that this film has been in the making. And so I'm pretty pumped about people finally getting to see it. I know a lot of people have already seen it, and the reviews have been great. Everybody is telling me how much they love it. So it'll be interesting to see what it does with a wider audience. The diehards seem to love it. And the biggest thing that I'm hoping for is that it really takes off in Botswana itself. I feel like most people in the country are going to hear about this, just because it's not every day that somebody makes a film about Botswana, especially at this level of production, of this caliber. A lot of people had never even heard of Botswana until the events of 2016, as far as in our circles, because it's not really that well-known of a place around the world. And so, I think that just the fact that somebody made a movie about their country, a lot of them are going to tune in and they're going to get the gospel, because at the end of the movie, there's a really clear plan of salvation. And so I just encourage everybody to share this thing like crazy, because, this thing could get people saved as well, because like I said, the gospel is presented really clearly at the end. So some of the ways that you can help make this thing viral are, be sure that you go on YouTube itself and add it to your favorites, give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, because the more comments it gets, that also helps it gain traction on YouTube according to the algorithm. And then also just, share it, email it to people, share it on Facebook, Twitter, blog it, whatever other social media that you use. Just get this thing out there. A lot of people have extra time on their hands because of all the stay-at-home quarantine stuff. So, it's a great time to have a movie night, especially on Friday night. So pump this thing up all day tomorrow so that Friday night can be a big night for the movie.
And you put together a website for it too, called BotswanaMovie.com. So people, if it gets pulled down off of like my YouTube or Pastor's YouTube or whoever's, you can always go to BotswanaMovie.com and there will be always a link there.
Yeah, Karen Rodriguez actually put that site together. She did an awesome job, and so definitely share both everywhere. Share the YouTube link. Because we do want people to go directly on YouTube to click like, share, favorite, subscribe, and all that. But also share that website, BotswanaMovie.com, because that's going to be kind of the sure thing, because we don't know if YouTube is going to pull down this video, or sometimes they'll just kind of slow down the video or hide it. I know there are a lot of Paul Wittenberger's films that you can actually just type in the exact title of the film. And we're talking films that have like over 1 million views, and just they're overwhelmingly liked versus disliked. So they have like, 90% likes, and yet they just will not show up in the search engine. You can search the exact term, you can put the name of his channel, and they've just completely hidden some of his films. So hopefully they don't do that to this film. But that's why it's important also to let people know about the website, BotswanaMovie.com, because that way it's a surefire thing. If it's removed from YouTube, you can always find it at BotswanaMovie.com.
Yep.
So, hey, Pastor, I wanted to see if you could... we have Shane Jans on the phone from Canada. He's pulled over in Iowa on his trucking job, hanging out with us today. And, we like kind of talking about the story from Botswana, when we all kind of met that first night. We were all there, and we were kind of discussing the living situation. And I always got a kick out of it. Me and Shane like to laugh about it. I want to see if we can get your perspective of how you were explaining what the sleeping situation was like. You were explaining kind of what you could see, and then door number 2, which is how you explained it. We all took door number 2, and it was probably not the best door to take. So can you kind of give us your perspective of as you were kind of like, you're trying to figure out, you have 30 people standing there looking at you, and you're trying to figure out where to send these people to sleep for the first night. Can you explain on your side what that was like?
Well, I guess the moral of the story is just, you got to take the sure thing. You got to take the bird in the hand.
Right.
And don't wait for what's behind door number 2. But I honestly have no recollection of that at all. I don't remember that whatsoever, unfortunately, just because I haven't thought about that in years. So
well, it seems to be
Shane,
all the only thing that they remember about the trip. Like,
Shane, why don't you break down that story?
It sounds like a
that
great
was like?
story. I'd love to hear it.
Break it down, Shane.
Well, I just remember showing up to that house. I'm sure you guys can remember, and Pastor Anderson's like, we've got to take showers every day, and and then he's like, you guys are gonna have to like bunk up. And I was under the impression that we were all gonna have like a room with a bed. Maybe we had to share a room with somebody. And then we show up to this house that's like the size of a hotel room, and everybody's gonna be sleeping in there. And then actually, Pastor Anderson, I remember looking at you at some point, and you looked at me like, don't look at me. I don't know what's going on here. You didn't say that, but that was the impression I got. Like, don't look at me. And then you're just like, yeah, we've got this other place. It's just, it's like half an hour away. It's got, everybody gets their own bed. And then Logan and I just looked at each other and like, okay, we're going to take that. And then we ended up in the middle of like nowhere, like hours away. And I don't even know. I still play that clip, Logan, from that I took on my phone where you just hear all the animals howling.
Right. That was so creepy.
Because it was like nobody come to get us. It was horrible. It was probably the worst choice, actually.
Yeah, it was probably the worst.
Yeah,
choice.
see, I think what it was is that I didn't plan that part of the trip at all, so I didn't really know what was going on with that aspect because I think I was trying to get the church going and doing all these other things, and then all of a sudden people are like looking to me to solve it, and I think I was just trying to polish the apple.
Well,
a little bit.
I think what happened is Garrett was supposed to handle all that stuff, wasn't he? And then he ended up not showing up, so it kind of all fell in your lap.
Yeah, that's probably what happened because Garrett probably, because of getting banned and stuff. See, here's the thing. Things were planned a certain way, but obviously when everybody's getting banned and deported and having to reroute their flights and everything, so that sounds familiar. That's probably what happened, that I kind of just got thrown into that position because Garrett was delayed on his travels because I ended up going early and stuff. So... But yeah, I do remember us all just being packed into that house. I think we ordered like a bunch of pizzas or something.
Yeah,
I have a memory of just
this story has been told over and over and over.
That's the infamous pizza that got.
See, I just remember the good times. I focus on the positive things. I don't dwell on the things that went wrong. So what was the pizza story? Has this already been told?
No, it hasn't.
No.
Yeah, fill people in.
Sorry?
Fill people in on the pizza story.
Well, yeah, we went to Nando's and Pastor Anderson asked Neo's sisters or whatever they were, relatives, how many full meals should we get? We had like how many, like 8 or 10 like full-grown men there, and they're like, oh, just 2 whole chickens. And Pastor Anderson's like, that enough food? And they're like, yeah, it's plenty of food. And he looks at me and he goes, do you think that's enough food? I don't think so. He goes, well, let's just get 3 to be safe. Like these 3 full chickens, like Botswana chickens, are like really small. And
they're like a Cornish game hen or something.
Isn't it like a chicken, just one person, feeds one person?
Yeah. So of course it shows up. Everybody's hungry because everybody's just arriving from all their flights. It's all gone in like no time. And then we're all kind of staring at Pastor Anderson again like, okay, now what? And he's like, I don't know, order pizza or something. He just threw his hand up in the air. Just order pizza or something. So we ended up ordering pizza. It showed up on a motorcycle. Do you remember that?
Well, you forgot the part when I prayed and looked up to heaven and the chicken just started multiplying, and I actually fed the whole group with 3 chickens.
It definitely did not multiply, but I remember that chicken. I remember the pizza showing up and on the back of that motorcycle, and me and Logan just kind of like looking at each other like, okay, this is gonna be a wild ride. Where are we gonna go? That's actually, I think, the first time I spoke to you, Logan, was when we were just kind of eating the pizza and figuring out how bad this may be.
We kind of gravitated towards each other because we're both big guys, and we're just like looking at each other and going, I don't know, maybe we should take door number 2.
Well, you hear about people starving in Africa. Turns out the struggle is real over there.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny you mentioned how the showers, like, man, those showers were mandated. Those were not optional. It was just like the whole time I was there, it's just like, so you want to take a shower? I'm like, no, I'm good. They wanted you to take a shower like twice a day. It was crazy. And they all took showers twice a day. And they're just, and then there's all these billboards everywhere telling you save water, save a life. It's like, you guys have blood all over your hands, all of you.
Well, but taking a shower like makes it sound like it's like it was some kind of luxury shower. It wasn't really a shower.
No, it was not.
And no shower curtain.
What was the shower like?
The showers were like a bathtub with a hose and really no shower curtain. You had to like squat in the tub to take a shower.
Right. The shower nozzle was basically like the sink, where you, like the old school little sink nozzle where you spray your dishes. That's what it was, like that on a big hose. So you had to like sit in the tub and you're just kind of like try not to get water everywhere because there's no curtain or anything.
Hey, that's still more high tech than the cottage cheese tub of Guyana, though. Shane, come on now.
But the water was better in Guyana.
Yeah, the water in Guyana
black water
was a better quality, but we were just like dumping water on our own heads with a cottage cheese tub. So that was
true. But at least there was a shower curtain too. So.
Well,
But,
let's do another giveaway on the cards.
All right.
Let's hear another joke, guys. Next person that calls in.
480-465-1203.
Clean jokes.
The cards we got left. This is gonna be the hit to the ego. Who's the last one that no one wants? Is it Shane, Dustin, myself, or Rob?
Speaking of, we got to get Rob on the line. I think he's gonna be pulled up there on Pastor's
iPad.
yeah,
Here.
iPad. Yeah. All right, so Shane, so you're working right now?
Yeah, I'm working.
You're essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm essential. Yeah.
All right.
It's eerie because you get to give me a call.
Yeah.
All right, you're live on the air with Framing the World. Who is this?
This is Catherine down in Tucson.
Hey, Catherine. Thanks for calling in. Do you have a joke for us?
I do. I have a good one.
All right.
What kind of lights were on Noah's Ark?
I don't know. What kind of lights were on Noah's Ark?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
thought you were
That's usually how the joke
thinking
works.
it
Yep.
Floodlights.
Floodlights. Very good. Okay, very good. Okay, who would you like to have? Shane, Dustin, myself, or Rob?
Logan, if yours is still available, Matthew has requested your card.
All right.
What a guy.
I'll autograph it for you.
But it has to be signed.
All right, I'm
it has to be
signing it.
signed.
No worries, I'm signing
Okay.
it.
All right. Well,
All right.
stay on the line. We're gonna get your address.
Thanks, Catherine.
Okay.
So, Shane, you're an essential worker, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I am.
So you're in your truck right now as we speak.
I am. Yes, I am.
Can you
I'm
move?
living
Can you move your camera? Or is it gonna mess everything up? Show us what
Well,
you.
anything up because I don't have much luck with my truck and live streams.
Okay. All right. We don't.
We
want
better not rock the boat.
Yeah, we don't want to chance it.
So I start moving things around, I'm gonna get dropped. So
All right. Well, are you excited, Shane, for this movie to come out?
I actually I really am. I'm really excited. I've been telling all my friends, just like go check this thing out. You don't have to, you can just go online and just send it to your friends. So I was talking to a lady today, and I gave her the gospel, and then I sent her to Deported at midnight. So she's going to be checking it out. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Awesome. Well, I know this is a really good time to have the film come out because everyone's just sitting at home. So this will be a great time to get people excited about it and pumped about it. Hopefully we can get this out to a lot of different people. I know Pastor was thinking about running. Are you still going to do that, running ads and targeting Botswana?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've already been we wanted to wait till it went live on YouTube. So just over the last few days, we've been shipping DVDs to Botswana to like the newspapers, radio stations, TV channels. So any kind of a media outlet whatsoever in Botswana, we've been sending them physical copies of the DVD, letting them know about the BotswanaMovie.com website where people can watch the movie. And then also starting tomorrow, we're going to be running targeted Facebook ads just to make sure that this thing shows up in every single Facebook feed in the whole country of Botswana. Because like I said, I think they're going to have an interest in it. Because, even if maybe this isn't the first movie that they would choose to watch typically, if it has their country in it, they're going to want to see it because they're going to recognize everything, the Riverwalk Mall and the radio station and the different towns that we're going to and everything. And a lot of them are going to remember this event from when it happened because at the time, it was all over the newspapers. I mean, it was front page news for day after day after day. And so, people saw it back then. And a lot of people, I think, are going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And they're going to want to get the backstory, kind of get the other side of the story. And I think in a perfect world, what's going to happen is that, this is going to be seen by everybody, and that a lot of the people are going to be on our side. Because at the time when I was there doing that infamous radio interview, most of the comments were positive. It was at least like 50% of the comments that were coming in on the radio station as he was taking like texts and phone calls and emails and stuff, comments on Facebook. Most of it was supporting what I was saying. It was the government that threw us out, but the people actually were really positive about us. And so that's why I think that, a lot of people are going to react positively to this film in Botswana. And maybe this is kind of just a pipe dream or a wild idea, but I would love to see some kind of a petition or something to get me back into the country, and that we could actually someday go back and have like a triumphal re-entry into Botswana someday. And, whether that happens or not, at least this film hopefully will get a lot of people saved, because it has a very clear presentation of the gospel at the end of the film. So, yeah, I'm excited about those ads going live tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we have Rob on the line. Rob, can you hear us, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Awesome, man. So, Deported's going live tonight at midnight. Are you excited?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, I was actually thinking. I was listening to you guys talk and stuff, and I'm thinking that we should grade all the mission trips that we do by the quality of the showers that we get.
So, how would you grade Botswana?
I would grade it pretty good, because I chose door number 1. Yeah, but I'm actually happy that it's coming out on YouTube, the movie, and like Pastor Anderson was saying, the people in Botswana are going to get to see it and stuff, and I'm also glad that they're going to be able to see how corrupt their government is, right?
Oh yeah, because that was really well covered in the film, and then I love the sequence at the end of the film where kind of the "where are they now" portion of the film was pretty awesome, but. Yeah, it exposes the government corruption. I feel like Africa as a continent even is at kind of a crossroads right now, especially on this issue of the Sodomites, because they've been hardcore against Sodomites for their whole history. And now all of a sudden this agenda is being crammed down their throat by the U.S. especially, trying to force them to accept this Sodomite agenda. And, right now they're at that point where they're changing on this, where they're at that crossroads. And so, they need some biblical preaching on that particular subject to just let them know that there is another viewpoint out there. There is a truth found in God's word that flies in the face of this filth and garbage that they're trying to be, that they're being run over with right now.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely. Now, the president of the country that was there when he ordered our deportation, is he still in power or no?
I'm pretty sure he's no longer in power. So, and he unilaterally made the decision to deport me. It was done by executive order, and he's no longer in power. So, hopefully that works to our advantage going forward.
Well, I know
because everyone was so receptive when we were there. The people on the streets they received us. They were happy to talk to us and stuff. And I think it was just the government wanted us out there because they probably know their people really well, and they figured if they just allowed us to stay there and preach the gospel and get the church set up, that just give it enough time, that it would just make a huge change in the country. People would just flock to want to hear the truth about the word of God and stuff. And I don't think they wanted that. They just wanted us out of there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And not only that, but even in the United States, where, it's a totally different culture that's even more accepting of this sodomite junk. Even in the United States, there have been news articles lately about how the trend in the U.S. is that young people are starting to have a more negative attitude toward homos than they did several years ago or 10 years ago. So, the preaching is working, and a lot of young people are waking up to this agenda. But imagine if this preaching just had free reign in a place like Botswana. Yeah, a lot of people are going to welcome it and embrace it. And so that's what they're afraid of, because if we didn't pose a threat to them, then they wouldn't have to arrest us and take us out of the country and round us up. I mean, they're using all these government resources to hunt us down and book us and arrest us and deport us and go through all that. Obviously, it's because they're threatened. And it's not like we were doing anything. It was just stuff that we were saying. We were just preaching. So it's our ideas that were dangerous to them. And so it's really a freedom of speech issue, having the freedom to speak the word of God. And, that was quashed in Botswana. Thank God in the United States of America, we still have the First Amendment where we can say what we want and we can preach what we want and we don't have to worry about getting arrested or anything like that. But, the U.S. government would love to arrest us for the stuff that we preach. It's just that the First Amendment's like holding them back. And so, eventually, I do believe that our free speech rights are probably going to be infringed upon in this country. And that's why we got to make hay while the sun's shining. Now that the door is open, we need to preach the word of God boldly from the housetops, because you never know when the party's going to be over and when you're going to start really facing, bad consequences for preaching the truth. And here's the thing. Most of the preachers right now, even when it's totally acceptable and totally legal, they won't even preach on the homos now. So,
yeah,
it's like, why don't they use the opportunity that we have? And look, if they make it illegal to preach against homos, I'm not going to stop, because I will die on that hill. That issue is so clear in the Bible. It is not controversial. It's only controversial amongst just total weirdos and freaks. I mean, the sodomite issue in the Bible is just as clear as crystal. And anybody who thinks that it's okay to be a homo, it doesn't believe the Bible. It's just that simple. So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it just seems so clear that, like, while we were there, they just kept trying to get you to talk about your views on, the whole sodomite agenda, and just get you to talk about that, so that they could expose that live on air, so that they had an excuse to get rid of you, right? So I mean,
yeah,
to me, that whole,
exactly. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, no, I just said that whole thing with the radio station and all that was just a setup.
Yeah, it was, but here's the thing. I love being set up like you can set me up like that anytime you want. You know what I mean? Because it's like, hey, it's a setup so that we can put you on the radio live to the whole nation, throw you out of the country, put you on the front page of every newspaper for a week, put you all over the news, all over Africa. Even other African countries will all cover that story about me getting deported from Botswana, about other people getting rounded up and stuff like that. And so all things work together for good to them that love God. And so, if I could go back and change anything about this trip, I wouldn't change anything, because God's master plan for this trip was better than anything that I could have come up with, because he caused us to just send a shockwave through the whole country. And I strongly believe that this film is going to send an even bigger shockwave through the country than the event itself. I think that this is going to be big.
Yeah, when it gets in there, I think it's definitely going to make a huge impact.
Yeah, I really hope it does. I mean, it's a good film. It's a good
Amen.
film. And, it starts off strong and it just keeps going. And you're like, what? And a lot of people don't even know what happened over there. They hear the news clips, the news stories, but they don't really know what happened. And so this film really goes through exactly kind of what happened on the journey.
Well, and another thing I think is going to be good about this film is that, a lot of our diehard fans have already seen the film and they loved it. And, a lot of our fans have not had a chance of seeing the film yet. And so they're pretty excited to watch it. And I'm sure they're going to like it because they like us. But I think a lot of people in the old IFB and other denominations in Christianity, I think they're going to watch this thing just out of even if they don't really like us that much, they're probably just going to watch it out of a morbid curiosity. Like, what is this? Because it's such a wild movie. There's so many wild things that happen in the movie that I think people are just going to want to see it. And I think when they watch it and they go along with us on the journey, I think it's really going to open their eyes to a different point of view and show them, another aspect of this. And so I feel like it could bring a lot of people over to our side on these issues. People that have gotten soft on this and watered down, or people that just kind of hate us for no reason. I feel like if they watch this film, and I think a lot of them will watch the film, I think that it's going to maybe show them a different point of view. And you know, I think this film's going to do a lot for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. But one of the biggest hopes I have is that some young guy is going to watch this movie and get inspired and go to Botswana and turn that place upside down with the gospel. You know, some young preacher boy is going to see this film and get inspired to be the next great missionary to Botswana, because one thing that comes across loud and clear in the film is that this is a very receptive place. The fields are white unto harvest, and you know, I really hope that message comes through loud and clear just to that one person who's watching, who God can greatly use in Botswana.
Well, the whole country knew about this going down. I mean, it was on every newspaper for weeks leading up to you arriving, and then it was on the newspaper the whole time you're there. And then when you got deported, you going like this was on the front page of all the newspapers, and so everyone knows kind of what happened from that perspective. So, but they don't know kind of what happened leading up to the trip and what happened during it as well. So,
yeah, and I'm hoping that the film gets some hate too. I hope some people attack the film, you know, because we don't mind being attacked. You know, we say bring it on, because, you know, our ideas can stand up to scrutiny because we're founded upon the rock. So when you're standing on the word of God, when you're standing on the rock, you know, bring on the attacks. I'm sure that the film's going to I hope the film gets criticized. I hope people write nasty reviews of it and pick it apart and talk about all the things we did wrong, because you know what, even those attacks, you know, are going to ultimately just expose the truth.
Well, all of our friends seem to love it, but the reviews I got from people who kind of didn't like us or weren't Christians or something, they only got mad at the scene where you threw the homo out of the church. That's the only scene that they really hated. So I think even if they, you know, they're gonna like everything but that.
Well, I'm really glad that scene's in the movie then, because you know, we gotta give them something to get mad about.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
They can you know, they can side with that dirty old man against a man of God.
Well, I think it's important to. His backstory wasn't really talked about in the film, so I think people kind of shudder, like, "Oh, you just threw some random person out." But that was the guy that kind of.
Yeah, he's not some sweet old man like that would just like wanted to come to church. Like he
Yeah.
was there, like he was plotting the whole time trying to destroy that church, and then even did all kinds of things afterwards to try and do everything he could to try and sue us from another country or file for police reports or whatever. Yeah, the guy.
Yeah,
was,
wasn't he the?
I don't care if he was the sweetest old man that's ever existed.
Right.
He's a freaking homo. Throw
right,
him out.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, even from their perspective, it's like that. This guy, isn't he the one that was contacting everyone in South Africa as well?
He was one of the people that was literally working full time,
Yeah.
just to try to hinder our gospel mission in Botswana. And look, folks, we've emphasized this so many times. Our mission in South Africa and Botswana had nothing to do with sodomites. It was all about soul winning. It was about the gospel. It was about salvation by grace through faith. That's it. We were doing soul winning marathons. I wasn't going to preach any sermons about sodomites or anything. That wasn't even on the agenda. I mean, I was brought onto a radio show and asked what the Bible says about those things, and then the Spirit of the Lord came upon me, and I preached the Word of God and rebuked the prophets of Baal that were sitting with me. But the point is, you know, we were there to preach the gospel, and that dirty old man was just working literally full time behind the scenes. Him and that queer radio station in South Africa and others were just working full time to try to stop the work of the Lord. I mean, if this were an event in the book of Acts or something, this is the kind of guy where one of the apostles would have just like struck him with blindness or something. Or he would have just fell over dead or something when he got cursed by one of the apostles. You know, that's the type of guy that this guy was. He was a total son of Belial. And so anybody who sympathizes with this guy, frankly, I don't want them even subscribed to my channel. Let them just stay away from me and everyone I know.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are going to be taking another call and getting rid of another one of these cards. So make sure you call in with your funny joke, and make sure it's clean, guys, and make sure you live in the United States.
Yeah, and if you have any questions for Pastor Anderson or any of us are here about the trip or anything,
Keep it to the trip, though, guys.
Go ahead and call in if you have questions about what it was like, what we went through, what the government interrogation was like. Go ahead and give us a call, and we'll get you on there. You can ask anything you want about Deported.
Rob, how much time do you have, man, with us?
I probably got another half hour till I got to board the ferry.
Okay, so where are you at right now?
I'm on Vancouver Island. I'm just waiting to get on the ferry boat. Get on to the beach in Vancouver, yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So, hey, Shane, why don't you tell us about the how you broke down what Canadian money is like when we were at the Bank of Botswana. We were trying to get some more cash out of there. Can you you revealed to me what Canadian money is like. And it has a particular smell. Do you remember that?
Oh, that it smells like maple syrup.
Yeah, not
Paul
true, people. It's not true, people.
Tell the people give the people the truth.
Well, yeah. If you get enough Canadian money together, the new plastic money, and you put it together, it has a smell of like maple syrup.
Is this true, Rob?
This is not.
No. This is what you guys can tell.
And
you can't do it off one bill. You need like a stack.
Okay. Well,
Rob,
you did.
Rob,
No.
do you got stacks of cash that you can prove this?
No tax cash, plastic only.
What it is it's a scratch and sniff. And people they didn't do the scratching, and then they wonder why they can't smell it. You got to scratch it.
Well, you know what? I must say they did this to me. One of the first times we hung out, they had a stack of bills, and they were like, "Smell it." And they went like this, and it did smell like maple syrup. So I don't know if they rubbed a little maple syrup on it before.
Yeah, you don't know if it was just their lifestyle. They're just like getting maple syrup on everything, and their wallet smells like
I've
it.
always thought
that.
I've always thought American money smells like the roller skating rink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Whenever I
I've
smell
never
a
thought
dollar bill,
about
that's what I think of the roller skating rink.
I think I'd rather have the maple syrup.
Yeah,
though.
for real. Right?
Right.
Everything's cleaner, a little cleaner.
All right,
in
I've got a clean joke.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so there's this pastor, one of his church members wasn't in church, so he decided to go to their house and do like a visit. So he knocked on their door and nobody came to the door, nobody was home. So he wanted to be kind of clever, so he writes down on the gospel tract, he writes Revelation 3:20, puts it on the door, Behold, I stand at the door and knock, right? So then he goes back to church. The person shows up the next Sunday and just walks up to him and just hands him a note that says Genesis 3:10. And he's thinking like, Genesis 3:10, what's this? So then he goes and looks it up in his Bible, and it says, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right. Well, we had someone call in, but then they hung up.
Yeah, when you call in, it's just like the radio show. You got to turn your radio down when you call in. Don't have the live stream going while you're calling in, okay?
So, are you going to do any advertising in South Africa, Pastor Anderson? Or
Possibly, yeah. I mean, just we'll start with Botswana, do that for a while, and then see how that goes, and then probably roll into South Africa. But, I mean, Botswana is definitely the main event. I mean, 90% of the movie is about Botswana, so.
Yeah, but everybody knows about Gigabyte too, right? So in South Africa, because it was a big deal just going for us to get into South Africa too, right? So.
Yeah, and Gigabyte was pretty much humiliated and disgraced in the worst possible way. His career was completely destroyed because God just clearly cursed him for what he did. So he's toast.
Yeah.
All right,
Amen.
So we got someone that wants to call in and try and tell us a joke. So you're live on the air with Framing the World. Who's this?
Hi, this is Adelia. I have a joke and I have a question.
Okay, all right. Let's hit us with your joke.
Okay, so what do you count cows with?
I don't know. What do you count cows with?
A calculator.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay, so we have Shane, Dustin, and Rob. Which card
Make
would
the
you
right
like?
choice.
Any. You guys pick.
No, come on.
whoa,
We got
whoa.
Typical woman on the phone, right?
You got Shane. Okay, put the picture up. Shane.
Yeah.
Put up Shane.
Okay, Shane.
Right?
Okay, wait, hold on. Shane.
Shane, Rob,
Rob.
Or Dustin.
And
Who's
Dustin,
not
he's
here.
in the chat. Who's it gonna be? Come on, look at these guys.
She's like looking at them both, and she's
Oh man,
like,
this
Dustin.
is just too much. Too much.
Come on, who's it gonna be? Let's get it out. Who is it?
Did she hang up?
No, she's still here.
No, I'm here.
Oh, are you really thinking about this?
She's
still?
fleeing from the
Say your
cards.
name.
Just say a name.
I guess Shane.
Shane.
Yay!
Yay! All right, Shane. Put Shane up.
Oh.
Put up Rob up.
Yeah.
Sad face,
Boo.
Rob. Sad face. Oh, sad. Oh.
All
Okay.
right. Well,
All right,
stay on the
very good.
line.
Stay on
We'll
the
get
line.
your information.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You
She has
wanted
a
to say
question.
a
Oh,
question,
yeah, a
right?
question,
Go ahead
yeah,
with
yeah.
your question.
Yeah. So my question was, how was the food in Botswana? Like, was it really yummy?
No. The meat was like really. I don't know if
It was
anyone else
tough.
had this experience, but every time I ate meat, it was like.
Really?
That was tough.
Yeah, it was rough. It was horrible. Yeah, it was bad.
We lived at Nando's.
Yeah, Nando's was good.
Yeah, rotisserie chicken, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Nando's was satisfactory.
Yeah. yeah.
Let's not
Yeah,
give it
let's
too much.
Let's not go too far by saying it was good. It was doable.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah, bye.
Stay on the line, all right?
We ate at Nando's, Shane and I, like every day, the whole time we were there.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that they're known for their culinary achievements,
No.
so it wasn't really that.
Hey,
You're right.
and small known fact: all Nando's aren't created equal either.
Yeah,
So
that's
some-
true. That's true.
We're better than others.
So it's getting really dark in there, Shane. I don't know. Is there any light that you can turn on? There you go. There you go. Now you-
I'll tell you one thing that that happened when we were over there that you never would have seen in the United States was, and I have a picture of this on my phone somewhere, but where we were over at Neo's grandma's house or whoever, and they had just this big meal that they made for like 20 to 25 people, and they literally assembled the meals on the floor in the kitchen. So there were just like 20 plates of food on the floor. Like you would never see that in America, like where you just put a plate of food on the floor. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, that was in the movie. Remember I had that one shot?
Is it in the
Yeah,
movie?
it's in the movie. I have one shot of that in the movie, yeah.
Well, even better.
Table. Those plates look like they're on a table in the movie. That was on the floor.
That was on the floor, yeah.
Oh
I just remember in the kitchen on the floor, it was just covered in plates, and
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, can we, maybe elevate these plates a little bit? Not trying to be germophobic or anything here, but
Well, you
Yeah,
had
I
to
was
shower,
wondering,
so
when they were planning the wedding and stuff, were they actually gonna have 1,000 people there, or were
Yeah.
they just saying that?
No,
Big it up.
they were really going to have 1,000 people. Everyone I talked to said that they were. Like we talked to 3 or 4 different people.
Paul, I don't know if you remember this too. We were at the grocery store just talking to strangers,
Yeah,
and they all
yeah,
knew
yeah.
about the wedding, and they're
Uh-huh.
like, "Yeah, we're gonna be there."
Yeah.
So it really was gonna be that big. Just every rando was coming that we talked to
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
in the town. That is, yeah.
But all right, we got her called up. So
That's an interesting. Sorry, there's an interesting point. It seemed like when we were talking with Kumo and our driver, it seemed like there was a reason. Because I know you preached on this. The rate of premarital fornication was so high in that country, and that people were talking like that's such a large expense to get married that no one does it. And so when it's like it actually happens, it's like, wow, someone actually paid the dowry, like we're gonna have this huge party. Did you have any do you have any thoughts on that, or can you expound on that at all, Pastor Anderson?
That sounds terrible, but again, it's just something that I don't remember at all. So I only remember things that I have to like revisit things, and so there's so many things about the trip that I don't remember. That's why when I watched the movie, I enjoyed it so much. I kept wondering what was going to happen. I mean, I knew I was going to get deported, but it's hard to remember. It was so long ago.
Did anybody ever find out what happened to all the because the wedding just got canceled a couple days before it happened. So there's a lot of stuff that was prepared. Did anybody find out what happened to all that stuff, or?
I think that was just kind of the last thing on our mind because we had our own problems. But like, I
No,
think
I understand, but
it literally got canceled. I think the day before it happened. But yeah, I never really heard about what the aftermath was with all the animals or whatever they were gonna slaughter, or I don't know.
yeah, how many cows did Garrett have to pay for Nail?
I
Remember that?
want to say 8. The number 8 is popping into my mind. I want to say it was 8 cows, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I could probably review the
it was
footage. I think it
something like
changed
that.
too.
Yeah, they kept messing with. They were they pulled a
cows.
Laban on him
Yeah.
where they kept changing the dowry, like Laban or something, you know. So I don't remember.
You know, one thing I wanted to talk about is I remember when we went back there the second time, the country changed a lot in that amount of time. And so the second time we went back, it was a lot more people. A lot of people had cell phones. It seemed like everyone had cell phones, like smartphones, when we went back. And so I think this film will be much more accessible now than it would have been back then as well. So I think this is it's going to be I think a lot of people will be able to see it over there.
Yeah,
now.
and here's the thing, you know, obviously we were disappointed that the film wasn't coming out for a while. There was a time when we weren't sure if the film was ever going to come to pass. You know, we wondered if we should abandon the project, which was really disappointing. But, you know, once we decided that, you know, we could resurrect this film and get it done, you know, I think looking back, it's obvious that it's a way better film because of the fact that it got delayed. So this all happened as part of God's plan. Like, I think it's coming out at the exact right time. And the thing is, doing Beyond Jordan in between, a lot of the things that you developed from a cinematography standpoint in Beyond Jordan, you were able to incorporate those filmmaking methods into Deported, and I think it made Deported a better movie. Like the experiences you got on Beyond Jordan helped you do a better job on Deported as a travel film. So I think that the movie is coming out at exactly the right time. But I'll tell you one thing, Paul. I was pretty impressed that you actually went back to Botswana, like, because of the fact that, you know, what you went through when you were over there. I mean, there had to have been part of you that was a little bit nervous about going back.
So this is the thing. I was kind of traumatized for like the first 6 months coming back. And but then I kind of just forgot about it because I didn't think about it at all, and I just kind of forgot about it. And so when I like booked the ticket, I wasn't really thinking about it. And then as soon as I arrived in the airport, it like all came back to
And you're
me.
just like, what have I done?
Yeah, and I started remembering because I spaced on like all the details of me, and then it all came back, and like. Yeah, that's when I started to get nervous. And then when they were interrogating me for 6 hours at customs and I had to go through all that, that's when it got real.
Yeah, you were remembering everything,
Yeah.
and thinking about, you know, how this time you're going to know the ropes a little bit, you know, because you've been in the big house a few times. You kind of know the ropes, you know.
Yeah, and I came at the end of the night, so I was I think it was the end of the night. Maybe that was Shane, but I just didn't want to stay the night in jail waiting for them to get an answer as well.
Yeah, that must have been pretty nerve-wracking to go
Yeah.
back. But it's like you said, you know, I do the same thing. Like, I tend to block out negative things, like traumatic things. You try to just focus on the positive things, and you forget.
Yeah.
And you're just excited. You book the ticket. You go back, and then you're just like, whoa.
Well, because
you know,
I
I'm in
knew the
danger.
footage we had was it was definitely going to be a good film. I just had to finish it, and so but with that being said, is we shot the film in a totally different direction because Garrett was the main focus. The idea behind the film originally was we were going to go to Botswana. It was going to be a film to just kind of highlight Garrett going over there as a missionary and starting a church in Botswana and doing a bunch of soul winning, having a great soul winning marathon in South Africa. And it just was just going to be about that. And it turned into just something totally different.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be called Deported. I mean, it was
No.
going to be a completely different movie.
You didn't you come up with the title like when we were on the airplane back?
Yeah, I think I came up with it like while I was on my way home from the trip we were on the phone and we were talking about
Weren't you
kind
in
of the
Germany?
new direction.
I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly. I think you were in Germany when you were like, well, I think you got the name of your film, Deported.
Yep, that's when it happened.
Is that?
It
that-
sounds familiar.
I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Yep.
So, what are some of your hopes, Rob? Before we let you go, what are some of your hopes that the film will achieve?
Well, some of my hopes are that this film goes around the world. People see it. They're exposed to the gospel, the word of God. They see that, the thing is, you can't really ban the truth. You can kick people out of a country, but you can't ban the truth. I mean, you got the internet, and then it doesn't matter where you are, even if you're in some godless country like China or something like that, communist, whatever, like there's always a righteous remnant there. So there's always a way to get the truth in. And I'm just happy that this film's coming out. That people will be able to watch it on YouTube and just spread the word. And, hopefully this gets around the world. Everyone can watch it and see what happened and learn the truth, right?
Well, what I'm hoping we get out of this film is, and I really hope people do this, is re-upload the Deported film and put Nao Kirshway, I don't know, put her name in there because she's a YouTube star now. And so do you know that, Pastor, that she's now like this YouTube star?
I've heard some stuff about it. It sounds like it's a pretty sketchy YouTube program, but I haven't seen it or anything.
Every one of her videos gets like 20,000 views, like crazy.
Yeah, but I think it's just one of those things where people just have a morbid curiosity. So,
all right, what do we?
So, we had someone that called in, just had a question. He was being guarded about. He didn't want to give his name or his location, so he just said he's calling from the West Coast. So his question was for Pastor Anderson. It was the Obama administration that was that was sending the letters and getting those people to ban you and us from those countries. And then he wanted to know if you think that the Trump administration is continuing that policy of trying to get you banned.
I don't think that there's anything. Excuse me. I don't think that there's any question about that because of the fact that one of the things that Trump has done is he actually appointed a guy as an ambassador whose job was just the stated goal was to decriminalize homosexuality all over the world. So there was literally a guy appointed by the Trump administration to just lobby with all these African countries and pressure them into making sodomy legal. And Trump also has the first openly sodomite cabinet member. So, when Trump first took office, I was pretty pleased that in June they didn't, paint the White House with rainbow lights and declare LGBT month and everything. So I was hoping that, he wouldn't really push that agenda, but his administration has pushed that agenda on the global front, as far as just, evangelizing with the gospel of sodomy all over the world. So I don't think that there's going to be a difference under the Trump administration in that regard at all.
So it seems like that's on the home front where he plays up to the evangelical voter base. It's like he did away with that. But on the global scale, everyone else, they're still just pushing that same policy, that same theme.
Yeah, I think that you just hit the nail on the head with that explanation. I think that's what's going on.
Awesome. Well, again, guys, we are going to be taking a phone call here in a little bit. We want to hear more of your jokes tonight. And so if you want to call in, 480-465-1203. I think we have Garrett on the line.
No, we don't have Garrett.
He
So
said-
we have...
Garrett, I got a bone to pick with you.
No, we have Gary. I believe Gary's from New Jersey that might want to say a joke. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, but no. Anyway, so this is framing the world.
Gary from Gary.
So no one's gonna freak out if I make a Jew joke, right?
No. As long as
Okay,
it's
so
clean.
is there like a giveaway involved? Is there a Deported?
Oh man, you
So
don't
there's
even
that
know about this
whoa.
giveaway?
So you get 2 cards left.
you're
You
still
get-
calling in?
Is this guy on the phone actually trying to remain anonymous? Because I know exactly who
You
this
guys
is.
are garbled. You guys are super garbled over there. Anyway, let me just tell you the joke. And Gary or Pete, whoever, it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
So,
it's this guy. You Gary.
It's Peter James.
Yeah.
No, that's my middle name. So okay, so let's.
Okay, it's the man of lawlessness.
The man of lawlessness. Yeah, if you're reading it.
You're straight out of the ESV,
Wait a minute.
man.
So let's get this straight. You don't even know what the gift, what we're giving away?
No, he's trying to weasel.
Well,
he's trying to
driving.
grabble a Deported DVD. That's what he's trying to do.
Oh well, you're not going to get
Okay,
a Deported
well,
DVD. That's not
Why?
what
I
we're
don't
giving away.
have-
We're giving away a card.
I think he's just
Okay,
trying to
well,
seem
I'm
all
just
cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even want the prize.
You know what? You know what
Well,
he's getting?
I'm just calling to inquire
Yeah,
because
no,
this is the prize you're getting.
honestly didn't know.
Yeah,
It's
you're
the
getting
Dustin
okay.
card.
No.
It's the Dustin card. That's the only card you're getting.
You give
Borrow
him the
No,
wild card.
No, the Dustin card. It's Gary from Indiana. It's the Dustin card for sure.
Okay, great.
All right, what's your? I'll give him to autograph it for you.
All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Well, he's got to tell
Hey,
his
listen,
Jew joke.
I have a joke for you.
All right, let's hear it.
And I want to win this giveaway. Anyway, okay, so let's just tell jokes. So, all right, so what do you call it? What do you call it when an Italian and a Jew get married and have a baby? A pizza bagel.
Good night.
All right. Okay, I got a quick one-liner for you. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay. Oh, you know what? Here, let's see if I can remember this one. And then, can I tell you about a time where, because you were talking about jokes, Pastor Anderson, like, it wasn't even a joke. It was like
think
the
he's in a
funniest
tunnel.
story I've ever heard. Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Oh, so when you're talking about a giveaway for jokes.
Yeah,
I
that
told
helps
Pastor
to talk in the
Anderson about
phone.
it. Oh, you can't hear me. All right, then cut me off. If it's no good, then
No,
I'll-
you're
You sound
good.
good now.
You're good.
You're
Do your-
talking into the phone now, so
do
you're
your
good.
thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to remind Pastor Anderson, if you can hear me, he told the funniest story one time when I visited Faithful Word Baptist Church about, like, I think it was his grandfather, and he was telling the funniest stories about his grandfather and about, like, his grandfather when he was a little kid, like, riding through the school hallways on a dirt bike or something. Do you remember that, Pastor Anderson? You know what story I'm talking about?
Yeah, my grandfather, Dick Tackerberry, was kind of a larger than life character. He eventually was a police lieutenant on the LAPD, and he was kind of a legend. And in fact, the character on the comedy film Police Academy was based on my grandpa, Tackleberry, because my grandpa is Dick Tackerberry. And what it was that he was this really well-dressed, good student, and a really clean-cut, good kid when he was in kindergarten. And by the way, I don't hear anything in my headphones anymore, Paul. But anyway, he was a really good kid, and it was like he started kindergarten early or something. They made him do first grade a second time or something is what it was. And he really didn't want to do first grade a second time. So he ended up just stamping his foot and said, okay, I'll do first grade again, but I won't be good. And then from then on, he was kind of this rebel. And when he was in high school, he rode his motorcycle through the hallways of the school. He did a handstand on top of the school and everything. He did a bunch of crazy things. But I don't know. I think the funniest story... I mean, which story was it that was funny? Because there are a lot of funny stories.
No,
about
it was
him.
that. It was that story you just told, and it was the way you told it. You were like, he was like, "Fine, but I won't be good," and he goes from like this clean cut kid to like this little scoundrel, and he's like riding his bike through the hallways. So I just remember it was so funny.
Yeah, and
and I
if
was
people are
cracked
interested in stories, because there are a lot of really good Dick Tackerberry stories. If people are interested, I'm pretty sure it's on one of my YouTube channels, the Dick Tackerberry funeral, because at his funeral we told like so many hilarious stories, like just really great stories about Dick. So if if people want to hear that, they can type that in. If it's not on YouTube, I'm gonna have to dig it up and re-upload it because there were some classic stories.
Yeah, that's
All
funny.
right, thanks for calling in. I'm gonna get you that
Wait,
signed
So
autograph from
what do I
Dustin
win?
Lone.
Now, wait, did I win? Did I lose? What?
Well, I don't know if it's a win or a loss. You get a signed autograph card from Dustin Lone. So I mean, it's up to you. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, do you want
so.
another joke? Like, did that joke fall
Yeah, it
flat?
fell
Do you want
flat.
another joke? I
I think we can handle one.
Here.
I
One
think we
more
can handle
joke for
one
you,
more.
but that's
Is
it.
all we can handle.
Yeah.
One more joke. All right, let's see if I can remember this correctly. You want one more joke? Okay, I'm gonna tell one more joke. So I'm gonna see if I can remember this story correctly. But back after Pearl Harbor happened, so allegedly, this is a story that was passed down. Okay, so there's a Jewish guy and a Chinese guy sitting in a bar, and the Jewish guy, Jewish American guy, he looks over at this Chinese guy, and all of a sudden he becomes infuriated. And so he walks over him and he punches him in the face. And the Chinese guy is like, "Ow, what was that for?" And the Jewish guy was like, "Oh, well, that was for Pearl Harbor." And the Chinese guy was like, "Well, I'm Japanese. I'm not Chinese." And he's like, the Jewish guy says, "Japanese, Chinese, might as well be the same thing." So the guy goes and sits down. Well, now the Chinese guy, he's dumbfounded. He doesn't understand what just happened. He walks over to the guy and he punches him in the face. And the Jewish guy says, "What was that for?" And the Chinese guy says, "Oh, that was for the Titanic sinking." And the Jewish guy goes, "Hey, that was an iceberg." And the Chinese guy goes, "Oh, iceberg, Goldberg, what's the difference?"
Good night.
I've heard that one before.
All right.
All right, very good.
That was for Paul. That was for Paul for framing the world having some Titanic conspiracy material.
Okay, there you go. Well,
So
have a
the
good
point
day.
of that was that Jews sunk the Titanic. All right, guys.
All right.
All right, thanks, Peter. Thanks for calling in.
There were a lot of layers of meaning in that joke. That was deep.
Not very funny, but deep. All right, well, let's sign off with Rob here. Rob, is there any final thoughts you wanted to say, man, before we let you go?
And happy the movie's coming out. Hope it does well all around the world.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on with us tonight, okay?
No worries. Good talking to you guys.
All right. Hey, Shane, how much time do you have, man?
I'm good.
You're good? All right. Well, you're dark.
Yeah, I know. We're just losing light out here.
Can you hold a flashlight up to your chin or something, and you can tell some scary stories about the Botswana trip?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. All right. Well, we have someone on the line. We have William from where? Nashville, Tennessee. All right.
He says he's got a joke from a preacher.
All right. Let's hear it.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all heard the one about the Native American, right? Okay. There's a Native. You can die from drinking too much tea. You know that?
Okay.
Because there's a Native American guy. He drank 3 gallons of tea one night before he went to bed, and he woke up. They found him. He had drowned in his teepee.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Sad. Very sad.
That's
story.
pretty good. Okay,
All
so
right.
the last one here, you're gonna get the
What?
Rob Vitulano. That's
Yep.
the card you're getting. So stay on the line, and we'll get it out to you.
It'll
Okay?
be worth money someday. Keep that thing nice, all right?
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, so at midnight tonight, guys, Deported is going to be going live to the world. So we're going to be releasing it. Are you going to be releasing it as well simultaneously then, Pastor?
It's up to you, Paul, because I could.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you wanted us to just focus on one upload, or should we
No,
just upload
let's
both?
do it, whatever.
Let's go. Let's fire on all cylinders.
Yeah,
then.
it's been long enough. Let's just try to, and I encourage other people to seriously upload it and help get the word out, and as well as put some Neo Kirschway in the tags. So people, the 20,000 people that click on every single one of her videos, can see this movie. So, anyways, all right, very good. Well, we have been giving away these trading cards all night long, and so, but we've saved one trading card. I got it right here. We've saved one. It's a special one, so we're not going to show what it is. We're not going to show it. We're not going to show what it is. And so the next caller that has a good joke, we'll give you that one.
Now, do they have to have a good joke or just a joke?
Well, they've been. It has to be good. I don't know. We've heard some pretty rough jokes tonight. So, but Shane, so when do you start driving again?
Midnight.
Oh wow, and you drive all night long, huh?
Yep. Yeah, drive all night. Yep.
Wow. So how long you been driving now?
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I started off with steel, and now I'm hauling. I got a load of hot water heaters and bringing back right now.
And so okay. Well, all right. Well, and you drive for how long straight?
In the USA, you can drive for 11 hours straight, and in Canada, you can drive for 13. So you get a little bit extra time in Canada.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So are you enjoying less people on the roads, or have you noticed a difference?
It's perfect. Yeah, you definitely notice, especially during the day, you get the occasional car, but Monday night I went to Ohio, and it was just trucks on the road the whole night. So about 10 hours of just no cars on the interstate.
Just had it all to yourself, huh?
To ourselves, yeah. And even the trucks, there's not that many trucks on the road either. So it's been really interesting. Crossing the border, there's nobody on the bridge, like coming. You just get on the bridge, you're all by yourself. You pull up by yourself, and there's nobody there.
Cool.
It's weird, but it's great. It's great if you're a driver because you don't have anybody cutting you off or creating problems.
Well, stay safe out there, man, because being a truck driver is a pretty dangerous job. So
yeah,
you got to be careful.
Pastor Anderson, are you going to? I know when we first talked about Deported, you said you were going to maybe try and get the movie in the Riverwalk Mall. Are you gonna in the movie theater? Are you gonna still try and do that, or?
Yeah, the first thing we want to do is just send it out to all the media outlets, try to get some media coverage. The second wave of the attack is going to be just Facebook ads and promoting it online. And then what we want to do is get people to physically bring copies of the movie into the country, or we're going to try to do some kind of a mass shipment of movies into the country, and then have some people fly into the country that haven't been on any of these mission trips yet, and basically just have them go crazy handing out the movie for free also at the Riverwalk and other places. And then hopefully while those guys are there, we can set up some kind of a screening at the theater. I mean, we have a lot of plans, so it's just going to be, one thing at a time. Obviously, now's not the time to travel to Botswana, but, we're going to just do one thing at a time. And it'd be nice to even get it aired on TV over there. I mean, there's a lot of ideas because we've aired 5 Framing the World films on TV in Guyana on that Safe TV. We played 5 films, and they've all played twice. So we've had 10 slots, 10 like 2-hour slots on Guyana TV. So hopefully we can do something similar in Botswana.
Well, I think it would be a lot easier if we had someone there in Botswana that was a boots on the ground that could help more. We don't really have that, do we, Pastor?
There was a guy that I was in touch with a while back, but I'm not sure if he's still living in Botswana, so I'll have to catch up with him.
Yeah.
But otherwise, eventually we can just send people over there, though, because there's some people I'm sure that would love to go over there and do the soul winning and help us promote some stuff. So we can ship a big pallet of films over there. We can ship it over on DVD, flash drive, whatever, and just go crazy with it. So I'm committed to just doing whatever it takes to make sure that the majority of people in the country see the film, one way or the other.
So Shane, one thing I wanted you to talk about is kind of how you noticed how the change happened from the first time we were over there to the second time, and how the country really kind of changed a little bit. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, the country really did change a lot from when we first went there. Like, we're joking about like the showers and the living arrangements, but I noticed that like when we first went there the first time, there wasn't that many cars, or even if there was cars, they weren't that nice. They're just like your average car. And when we went back the second time, everybody had like a Mercedes or a BMW. There's a lot of BMWs on the road, so just higher end cars and a lot of traffic. There was a lot of times where we just sat in traffic just to get around. And people were still receptive, but you could kind of see that they were something had changed in them. So they were a little bit more. They weren't so eager to hear. Some of them weren't in town. They weren't so eager to hear the gospel, but they still would listen. So I believe that over time in the next few years, it's going to change even more because just in a couple of years, there was a big change in the atmosphere of Botswana.
Yeah, I think when, they rejected you, Pastor, and they rejected the gospel, I mean, I think that really kind of shifted that country, honestly, because it didn't seem like the same place at all.
I don't know, but I know a lot of people told me the exact same thing about the second Jamaica mission trip that they went on. Like, they went the second time to Jamaica, and it just felt like it wasn't the same, and it seemed like it had gotten a little bit colder spiritually. So I think the moral of the story is that, we need to get over there and get in there while the getting's good, because I'm sure if you went there now, it would still be pretty receptive. But I think in the long run, the trend is going to be away from being receptive to the gospel. So I think that, we need to redeem the time because the days are evil. So, I'm hoping that in the next couple of years, some people can go over there and do great works in Botswana. And, I know that there are going to be a lot of critics who watch the film and criticize us and pick us apart. And, my message to those critics would be, hey, go over there and show us how it's done. If you don't like the way we did it, if you feel like we messed things up, then you know what? Go over there and do it yourself. Show us. Don't tell us how to do it. Show us how to do it. So I would love to see someone take advantage of this open door because, like you said, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they may get hardened through the deceitfulness of sin, especially because there's an element at work that is just full-time working to corrupt the nations of this world. And there are even people in the Trump administration whose stated goal on the record is to spread sodomy throughout the world. And they say, hey, there's 79 countries where this is illegal, and we want to make it legal everywhere. And so that's what's going on. And when a country just embraces sin, obviously they get less receptive to the gospel because, whosoever doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds might be made manifest that they're wrought in God. But he that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. So the more evil a country is, the less receptive they're going to be. But, so we need to reach Botswana before they get worse. While they're still, in many ways, a good people, let them all get a chance to hear a clear presentation of the gospel. My headphones died again.
It's that,
Yep.
it's that connection.
It's back.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, we have someone who's called in who would like to say a joke. So you're live on the air with Framing the World. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Gary.
Oh my!
Oh, here we go again.
Goodness.
Okay, let's just hear. Let's just hear. I try to screen these calls. If they lie to the screener, what am I supposed to say?
You didn't sniff them
Okay,
out?
so listen. Mortimer Bergstein is a young Jewish boy, and he goes and has to ask his father for $10. So he says, Pa, I thought about this, and I really need to ask you. I just need to get $10, Father. And his dad says, $5? What do you need $1 for?
You don't get it.
That's it?
And then I just heard the call just end.
Right, he just dropped. Yeah.
I
He
wonder
knows
who
he's not-
ended that call. Was that him or you guys?
That was
Somebody
him.
shut that off.
All right, so call in for real if you got to give a good one.
Yeah,
This is a
no-
good card.
Can we block that
480-465-1203. I think we'll block that number. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Do you want to sign off for Shane or Rob? Or?
Yeah, Shane, is there... Helps turn on my mic. Shane, is there any final thoughts you wanted to say before we end it with you tonight, so you can get some sleep before your shift?
No, just final thoughts is I'm just excited to see what's going to come of all this once this movie gets released, and we can see see what the world thinks about it, because right now we're just getting feedback from our friends and our people, and maybe the occasional person that doesn't know us. But once it hits the world, then we're going to really see what they think about it. And getting back to just the parts of the movie, like even I think it's going to be a wake-up call for Botswana too, because in your arrest and my arrest, we both say that we had no rights. And when you look into what actually happened in terms of our arrests. Like, they violated so many, like, international laws with us. So I think that's going to be a wake-up call for Botswana, and they're going to have to probably treat prisoners or people they interrogate better. So I'm just curious to see how all this is going to play out once it gets out there.
Amen. Yeah, it's seriously, man, this doesn't really make the Botswana government look very good at all.
No.
Not at all. So.
No.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, brother. It was good to see from you.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Have a good day, Shane.
All right, take care.
All right. Well, we have one more giveaway to do. If we have a good joke, we would love to hear it. And this stream's not going to be too long tonight. We just really wanted to get people pumped and get people the message to share BotswanaMovie.com. And so that will be releasing the YouTube video for the movie. I know Pastor Anderson's going to be releasing it on his channel. I'm going to be releasing it on my channel tonight at midnight, and or somewhere around that. It doesn't have to be at midnight, Pastor. Whenever you want.
Well, can you just upload it to my channel? Or do you want me to do it?
Yeah. Could you do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. But yeah, we will get it out soon to you guys, and hopefully everyone shares it.
The show on Saturday, what you doing?
What are we doing on Saturday?
Where you're gonna go? Like,
oh yeah, we're gonna have another show actually too, guys. On Saturday, so make sure to tune in on Saturday. Pastor Anderson's gonna be joining us again. We are gonna be watching the whole movie and commenting on the movie as we watch it. So it's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to talk about a lot of things, pretty much anything that pops into our head as the movie's going on.
Well, and we already did that with After the Tribulation.
Yeah, and I thought that turned out great.
I loved it. Yeah, it was fun. We did a producer's commentary of After the Tribulation where Paul and I are sitting on the sofa watching the film, and we kind of tell all the behind the scenes of what happened, just different production things and stuff, the backstory of this scene or that scene. I would love to do that with all of our films.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
Well, now I don't have all the technology to do it. I ordered the part, so soon we'll be able to do split screen and do, have the picture big and then us in the corner. I'll be able to do that hopefully within the next week and a half. Things take so long to ship now because of all this. When you order something on Amazon, it takes forever now. But that being said, the reason I'm saying that is because I'm going to have that technology soon.
He's very excited. Yes.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
All right, so you have a caller on the line who has promised me that he's going to win the card with this one.
Okay.
So who's calling in? You're live on the air with Frame in the World.
Name's Jared Paris.
Hey, Jared.
Oh yeah, Brother Paris.
All right, so let's hear it. What you got for us?
Okay, there are two cannibals walking around. Okay, they walk up on the clown and smack him in the head. They start eating him, and one of the cannibals goes, "Does this meat taste funny?"
All right. Hey, you know what? This is the first time I saw Pastor Anderson laugh at all the jokes.
Well, I've been polite and laughed at all of them.
Okay. So. Was this another just polite laugh? Should we give it to him, or should we make?
I say give it to him.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's give it to him.
So. Paul, can you show the good people?
Yeah,
which card he's gonna win?
I wish we had a good camera to do this on.
Yeah.
We gotta get it insert. Yeah, just hold it right there. You can't see it. No, the other side. Yeah.
So this is.
I'll take printers for 500.
That's a classic.
This is a classic card. Yeah.
So it's Tyler Baker
on Jeopardy.
Saying I'll take printers for 500. It's a good card.
So we'll get that out to you, brother Jared.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have. I feel like we need one more joke because I feel like we haven't got a really good joke.
This is my one that I kind of have in the hole.
It's in your back pocket.
My back pocket joke. Okay. So a lady is getting on the bus and she's got a brand new baby and she's so proud of her brand new baby, right? So she gets on the bus and the bus driver looks at her and the baby says, "Ma'am, that is the ugliest baby I've ever seen in my life." And she is just destroyed. She can't imagine that a bus driver would be so rude to her, right? So she walks down to the back of the bus and she sits down in the huff, and she's sitting there just destroyed, right? And the man next to her says, "Ma'am, what's wrong?" And she says, that bus driver really offended me. And he says, you know what? You march right back up there and you give that bus driver a piece of your mind. Here, I'll hold your monkey for you.
These are getting worse.
What are you talking? That's a classic. All right,
I got one more.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
I got one more. All right, this blind guy walks into a store. He's got a CNI dog with him, and all of a sudden, these people just hearing this dog howling. So the employee walks up to the owner and says, "Sir, can I help you?" He goes, "No, I'm just looking around."
That's ridiculous. Okay, we gotta no more. We can't. This is.
I think at this point you guys are just throwing good money after bad.
This is a fail.
You know,
I think
you got to know when to walk
we
away.
we had a great idea before we started the show of like, hey, we're gonna have people call in with jokes, and it's gonna be great.
It's a learning experience.
You know, exactly.
All right, you've learned a lot tonight.
We learned a lot. So we do appreciate everybody stepping on the ledge and willing to get laughed at, not because of your jokes, but just because of how bad it was, and calling in. So God bless everyone. Thanks for calling in. Paul, do you want to get us out of here?
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else, Pastor, that you wanted to talk about this release?
No, I mean, you know, I'm excited about it. I just hope that people will share the thing and spread it everywhere. So I feel like this film has the potential to have a big impact in a lot of people's lives and to win a lot of souls to Christ because of the gospel at the end. And so, you know, just participate with us, share the thing, and, you know, write a review of it, make a video review, anything you can do to promote the film on all of your social media, whatever social media you're on, whether it's Twitter or Pinterest or YouTube or Facebook or whatever, Blogger. Just go crazy with it, folks, because, you know, we want to build up some momentum with the film. So just pull out all the stops once, you know, to spend the day tomorrow, or just at least spend a little bit of time just sharing this thing everywhere. Let's go crazy the first day with this thing.
Yeah, so as soon as you wake up tomorrow morning, make sure to just go to Pastor Anderson's YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel, and just share those links, or go to BotswanaMovie.com. Or if you tell people like where to go, it's real easy. It's hard to say go to YouTube, type in Deported, because you don't know what you're going to get.
Other stuff could come up too if you type in Deported.
It does. Yeah.
So that's why the BotswanaMovie.com is kind of a one-stop shop for this.
Yeah, so when you tell people, like your friends, say, hey, go to BotswanaMovie.com, it'll be on that front page there. You just have to click it, and you'll be able to see it right there. So I think that's a great way to tell people, if you're just talking to them in person, just tell them go to BotswanaMovie.com. So
cool. Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure to go out and get Deported and support that movie. You can get the Blu-ray and DVD all in one go here. And also get these trading cards. They're really cool, and they're while supplies last. We only have probably like 20 or 30 boxes left, and then these are going to be gone. And so I really hope you guys decide to support us. Thank you so much for tuning in. And that's it, Logan. That's it.
God bless you guys. Have a great day. See you next time.
All right, guys. God bless. Bye.
Pretty good show, yeah.